Cori likes feminist philosophy nearly as much as she loves food and finding ways to make pleasure a practice of political resistance. Welcome, Cori.
So let's start with the question that's on everybody's mind. What is an anal bomb? Urban Dictionary defines it as a kind of poo transfer. I'd like to think of it as Rick Santorum's preferred weapon of mass destruction. But the anal bomb that I have learned to love is something that can happen anywhere. I inadvertently discovered a few years ago with some of my students in a philosophy of love and sex class, and since then I've been dropping anal bombs all the time on unsuspecting YouTubers, neighbors at barbecues, strangers in bars. And actually, I've started to base people's reaction to the anal bomb as a kind of litmus test as to whether or not I'd want to be friends with them. So, the anal bomb is a really revealing, surprising moment, but it's better to sort of be experienced than just described. So, picture this. A sexy lady and a hunky gent who don't know it yet are going to be doing some anal things. And it's getting really hot and wild, and in the midst of all the flipping and the flopping, the lady makes the gent's night and she says, "Hey, I'm really into anal. Are you?" And his response is, "Hell yes!" So he's practically giving himself a high five when she asks, "Good, how many fingers can you take?" Anal bomb. It's the shocking moment that blows up the assumptions of whose ass is getting what done to it. Because when people are told to think about anal things, they imagine either gay men having butt sex or a dude doing a lady up the ass, and that's just the way that our thoughts have been trained to go. But so because of this, the anal bomb, like in our little scenario, is most droppable on straight guys who would love to do all things anal until the anal in question is their own. Whereas these guys would love to think that a woman's asshole is up for licks or grabs or penetration. They're the ones who would say, "No way anal play, my butt's got an exit only sign above it." But more often than not, that sign actually reads homophobe. When I talk to male neighbors, strangers, or students about their visceral aversion to even the mere suggestion of heterosexual male anal eroticism, I met with this defense. Anal play? That's kind of gay. Which really confuses me, because they'll maintain this defense even if it's a lady who wants to lick their too-tight man ass. But so when sexual identities like gayness get mixed up with certain actions or body parts like playing with an anus, and then those actions are gendered in terms of who can do them or have them done to them, shit gets real weird. Like, straight couples can do gay things. Kind of, because what's really going on here is a matter of pleasure. I've learned it's only kind of gay if the dude enjoys it. But so what's going on here with the anal bomb is that it reveals we have a really bizarre and actually political relationship to our sexual pleasures. Our sexual pleasures aren't something that we just are born with naturally. We're actually allowed them, and then we learn to like them. And so some, like in great advertising, some pleasures are given a cultural stamp of approval, and it's as if it's what we've always wanted and liked. But at the same time, we also learn that some things are gross and repulsive, and that the people who enjoy those things should be shamed. So we are told to avoid being like that at all costs, even if that means limiting our own pleasures. So that's super unfortunate, like only being able to eat dried chicken breast at a 4-star buffet. But this is why I love the anal bomb, because the anal bomb gives us the opportunity to think about things that most people probably wouldn't like. Not because their nerve endings are sad, but because their sexual imagination and experiences have been socially restricted. But so if pleasure can be learned in ways that are limited and restricting, to make homophobic jerks who do themselves a disservice, then pleasure can also be relearned in radically new and resistant ways. So, straight guys, you may not initially like having your butthole touched, but if you get the homophobia out of your ass, you might actually really learn to like it. And ladies, you might not have been raised up knowing that you could toss a salad just as well as you can serve up mixed greens with dinner, but you can. And since we're talking about food, let's go to a metaphorical buffet again, and I'll tell you how I make my friends. I love food, and I hate picky eaters. If I'm eating with someone and they go, "Ugh, yeah, no, I've never tried it, but it just looks disgusting," I want to scream at them, "It's fucking food, and food is awesome," and then walk away. And it's the same with anal play, because it's easy to enjoy the things that we've been growing up eating all the time. But my family didn't teach me how to enjoy Ethiopian food or Thai food. No, I had to discover those flavors on my own. And I had to find friends who would go on that delicious journey with me. So, keep your dried chicken breast because I know you love it, but also explore the stinky tofu and the tripe. And here's the real suggestion. Put the stuff on your plate that you can't even identify just to try it. You might hate it, but then try it again. Try it again. I think it's good for you to try to stretch yourself a little bit, and if you do, you might avoid being a homophobic asshole.